Okay, you wanted me to. Oh no, you sent it out.
Sent what out?
Ah, your your YouTube video.
Yeah.
Oh, you're live on YouTube.
Yeah, I can go from Zoom and I can broadcast live on YouTube. What out?
Okay, so you want me to go in a Zoom meeting, or you want me to?
I need you in Zoom meeting because people can't see on what you're doing.
Okay. All right, so I need to get up, right?
Yes.
You know what the meeting ID is?
312. Shit. Give me a second. My account. Oh, it's 399 200 703.
I don't. I never made a Zoom account.
Just use a Gmail, or do you want one of mine that you can log into?
This is all on the video.
Yep, I know. Won't be the first time that people have heard us gripe at each other. Oh, hey, Wicked isn't in Homesteaders
Okay. What does that matter right now?
because I was going to use him to post on another page.
You didn't authorize me.
Give me a second. Why didn't where are you needing me to authorize you?
I on my right.
Okay, it says I've got 3 participants. Give me a second. Okay, now you should be coming in. I've got to control entry into the room in case we have minors, so we don't get Zoom bombed. Hi, Colleen. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm just waking up from a nap, so I'm grumpy.
Hey, Matt. I look awful today.
Oh, it's okay. So I got the Zoom to YouTube to work. And it's more stable than Zoom to Facebook.
Oh, I'm making that up.
Yeah, you have to turn your volume off, I think.
Oh. Okay.
See my little peeps?
Yes, I did. I saw them.
We got 7 of them, and I think we got 6 or 7 more underneath the other bird if she'll let you get your hand under there to look.
Uh-huh. That's cool.
Hi. You hear your friend Wicket? Come here. Come here.
I started a worm farm.
You got the worm farm going? You doing
Yep.
Red worms or mealworms?
Red worms.
Red worms? They love almost any compost.
Yep.
Oh, you're doing red worms?
Yeah, she's doing red worms. Come here, Wicket. Come here. Come up here and say hi. She can't see you down there. Come on. Get up here. Get her.
Hi, Wicket. Hi, Wicket. How are you doing?
There.
Penny
There's a Wicket.
wants in too. Hi, Wicket. Hi, Wicket. Oh, really? Oh, really? I'm not going to hurt your mama, I promise.
Oh no, we're still trying to figure this out. Oh, right now we're having a conference of the dogs.
Yes. Penny, up. Come here. Come here. Come up. Yes.
Hi, Penny. Hi, Penny.
Doesn't want to come up. I'm up
Yeah.
on a wall.
Yep. All right, big boy. You lay back down now? Okay. You got your hellos out of the way? Oh, yes.
He's a good boy. Yes. He's a good boy.
You know, I'm a grumbly butt, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but he takes care of his mama.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Camera back up just a little bit. Hopefully I didn't do it too far.
What?
I gotta move my camera back up. Someday I have a little robot one where I can just go meet. Oh, here comes Shasha.
Yeah.
What, Jaja? ¿Qué pasó, hombre? What? What? You heard your name? Okay.
So what you've got red worms?
Yeah, I just bought a bunch of only 500. I didn't get 1,000. I wanted to see if I could keep them alive. And I've got them set up in a temporary bin while I start. I've got another bin that I have designated for the worms that I just set up with. I'm in the process of cooking some compost up.
Oh yeah.
And that's going to be their permanent home. Yeah.
Outside? Do you have them outside or inside?
I had it inside, but it started to stink, so I put it out on the back patio, but it's covered. So it's
Yeah.
not in the sun or anything.
We have ours underneath the hideaway trees where the grapevine is.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's where we've got ours.
I used a old luggage thing for a car. It's like a big box.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I got them in. It got overtaken by bugs, though. I mean, they're still in there.
Uh-huh.
Got roly-polies and
Yeah. We get larvae out of there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I've got the worms are actually in my kitchen right now. But the bin that they're going to be in, I'm waiting until it's cooked enough to the smell to come down before I put them in there. Yeah. So right now they're basically in a mixture of peat moss and just some, ground up scraps. I threw them in the blender because the worms that I got were really tiny. So I figured they needed it blended. So I just threw a bunch of scraps in a blender and I used that to feed them.
Yeah, that made the best when we had them inside, and I was using when I was blending everything up with a little bit of water.
Uh-huh.
They went through that and they seemed to like it.
Oh yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Now I'm throwing food out there and it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a stinky mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. I threw potatoes out and they just made a whole bunch of mold all over them and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
Worms are still alive, but
yeah, I'm going to keep my compost pile completely separate from my worm farm, and just keep changing the bedding in the worm farm out as needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're looking at as we do the wicking beds, dividing the worms into the wicking beds.
Mm-hmm. I was going to do that, but then I decided not to. I do have a spigot at the bottom of my bin. I did drill a hole and put a spigot in the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But that's only for if I get it too wet.
Well, also, you can put a drip bucket down there, and they do create their own, basically worm poo, their own leach water. Yeah. And you can use that as a fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got the idea. You want to catch it because they'll escape.
Yes.
And then you got to put them back in there.
Yeah. Oh, right now they're happy, so they want to be in there. I keep them covered. They like it dark. As soon as I open the cover and lift the newspaper that I've got covering them, the damp newspaper, they like disappear. So they don't like the light at all.
They're very photosensitive.
Yes.
That's fun. I like my worms.
Yeah, I call them my wormies.
Yeah, we've got ducks. I never quite worked the worms into the chickens and the ducks.
Yeah.
We've got 21 chickens coming the second week of June.
Nice.
So we got to try to have all of our new chicken areas built by then. So
yes.
That's on our list right now. And then we're going to put the hoop garden up, kind of let the chickens roam free in there. Instead of us trying to cut everything down.
Yes.
Just chickens go in there and have fun with it.
Yes.
I would be feeding the greens to the chickens anyways. And, so we're just going to let them bed out the season in there. Maybe move, the kids have got a couple of playthings. Katie's got like an old kitchen, one of those old fiberboard kitchen things.
Mm-hmm.
That we'll move in there so that they've got little nesting spots, but it'll be covered and should stay cool for them. Be plenty of food, plenty of water. We like to do a combination of free range with feed.
Yes.
And then next year, the duck pond and aquaponics will actually fall. I think is when we're planning on getting the duck pond done.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. That's the duck pond and converting it to aquaponics is kind of like the winter project.
Mm-hmm. I'm really into all of that stuff. The problem is that I want to be free to leave for a month at a time.
Yeah, and
And
aquaponics, you really got to be there, or you got to
yeah,
have somebody coming to check on it.
yep,
Once you have it established, after about the 4 to 6 month mark, if you're keeping everything on an even keel, you're not having to put water in all the time, and you're not having to constantly deal. Somebody can come, like if you've got somebody come and just check on everything once a week,
mm-hmm.
check on your levels and see if something needs to be adjusted.
Right.
I know when I was originally getting my certifications for aquaponics, that's what RealCAD was gonna, and Requiem's Gardens was gonna expand into doing that, and that was gonna be a service that we would offer, is to come out and check on, you know, any aquaponics that we built, we'd help check on, and if people need to go away for a vacation or whatever, then we keep an eye on their garden for them.
Right.
So, but that's a project that has to wait.
Garden City.
Yeah, we'll be Fish City. So, but
I have started some basil and some herbs, some cilantro, and a few other herbs on the back patio, but I'm not going to go crazy with it. I just don't have soil, and I've got way too many deer out here.
That's why we've done raised gardens.
Mm-hmm.
And all I did is I just did a like 1x4 or 1x6 a year to build my gardens. You know, I started out with my 4 posts. It's weird. I'm seeing myself over here and over here and over there. And I realize I talk with my hands.
Yes.
I basically made little raised beds, and then instead of trying to fill the entire bed at one time, I fill it every year.
Okay.
I add a layer, and then and I add fill, add a layer, add fill.
Yeah.
Because if you try to do, if you're planning on being 18 inches or 24 inches deep, right off the bat, that's a huge investment right off the bat.
It is.
Whereas we have found, I think we did the first one, we did 12 inches deep, and we filled it with basically a bunch of sticks and brush and stuff that we cleaned up and everything. And then we put our soil and our compost mix in there, so that all we had to do is just go back and top it up.
Right.
As the stuff underneath decomposes, the lower it goes down. So that one was kind of, it was cool. It did good.
Ants got into it.
Yeah. Ants and mice love it.
But even then, we've still got rosemary.
Yeah, I still have rosemary and my blackberry. I've got my rosemary on one side, my blackberry on the other side, and the blackberry is sending up new shoots. I grew some black beans out there and some tomato seeds, and we're seeing sprouts.
A diatomaceous earth will work for the ants, won't it?
Well, I can't. It gives me issues. So we don't use diatomaceous earth. For ants, we use our old cooking oil and basically drown them.
Okay.
Yeah. My sister, she deep fries everything, so we have a endless supply of cooking oil. By the big big gallon jugs of it.
Right.
Is how fast she goes through it, and yeah. So we have a lot of cooking oil, and that was actually something that.
No, we figured that out.
We figured that out on our own.
Yeah. We were trying to figure out what we could suspend the cinnamon in.
Yeah, because we were using we were buying fresh oil, and we were putting cinnamon in it, and we were infusing it, making it a cinnamon oil.
Right.
Because the cinnamon drives the ants away.
Okay.
And we're just like, man, this is just getting too expensive. Even buying the cheap stuff was getting too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So then she's like, well, I've got all this oil that I've been keeping, and we're like.
Can't put it down the drain.
Yeah, you can't put it down the drain because we're on septic systems out here, and she didn't want to put it in the trash bin, so she just was putting it back into the jugs.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, we'll give that a try. So, I did go through trying to infuse at least one more with the cinnamon before we realized that just the cooking oil itself worked. The used cooking oil itself worked.
So you just dumped it in the garden bed?
Yeah, just dump it in the garden bed wherever you find an ant bed. We just dump it on there, and I think it's like a 3 inches around.
Yeah, I mean, just dump it on there until it soaks in.
Yeah, until it soaks in.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of rods.
Not on the plants, just on the ants.
Yeah, just on the ants. We got a
Yeah.
couple of rods. Sometimes if you need to poke it down into the ant bed so that the oil goes in deeper.
Uh-huh.
But it's been doing pretty good on keeping us relatively ant free as long as we stay on top of the piles.
Yeah.
Of course, up front we had to use actual chemicals because it's a public marketplace, and our insurance policy said you have to have a pesticide plan.
Yeah.
So we worried about that because the water runs from the marketplace down basically through my gardens. It runs through my chicken coops, and it runs through the gardens, and it runs, where I grow everything. So we were very cautious about when and where we would put the fire ant killer down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for down here by the trailer, we use cooking oil.
Huh.
And I think Josh said that they were putting stale beer,
I guess.
onto their ant piles.
If it works.
So, no, it wasn't Josh. One of our bartender friends said that he was basically taking home the stale beer.
Yeah.
And he was using that to dump on his ant piles.
Huh.
So it works. I helping hands are in your way. But yeah, all the topics that I had just kind of went out the window because I laid down to take a nap this afternoon. There's a front coming.
Have you ever heard of a wicking bed?
Oh, a wicking bed? I've heard of it, but refresh my memory.
Basically it is you can either put it in the ground or above the ground.
So you got a tub and you have a perforated pipe. You know what a perforated pipe is?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a perforated pipe going down, and then you put vermiculite. You cover that in vermiculite.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And then on top of the vermiculite, you put landscape.
Put landscaper's cloth.
Yeah.
So.
And then your dirt on top of that.
Whose cameras I can find it on.
And so then you pour
this is kind of like your wicking bed.
Yeah.
So you've got your pipe here, and you've got your fill spout here that goes above wherever your soil line is.
Uh-huh.
You need to have it lined to at least wherever your water line is going to be.
Okay.
So you put your pipe down, you put your vermiculite down and some rock down, and then you put your landscaping cloth, and then you put your fill material in, and then you put your plants in. And when you first put your plants in, you are going to have to water them up here.
Uh-huh.
Maintain this water level here, and this is, I think it's 4-inch pipe, three or 4-inch pipe, so that you can see what your water level is.
Just the sewer pipe.
And and as the roots grow, they grow down into where the water line is here.
Oh, okay.
Wick the water up through the base of the soil and the vermiculite.
Yeah.
With that vermiculite, your landscaping cloth, and then more vermiculite. And vermiculite loves water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
a low maintenance deal where you don't have to water so much.
Yeah, it's supposed to reduce the amount of water that you use.
You just look in there, and if the water is down below your line that you put, then you put more water in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at lining the duck area with is with those, so that when I have to clean my pond out or circulate the water through my pond, I'm gonna use it to fill the wicking beds.
Yeah.
Nice. Kind of takes out the aquaponics portion of it because I don't have to worry about keeping my fish alive. And because the water that's going into the wicking beds is also getting regular water added to it and supplemented to it. You still have evaporation that you have to deal with, but they're pooing in the water. It's free fertilizer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my ducks poo a lot.
Yes, they do.
You had ducks before?
Have you had
Have
ducks
I?
before?
No, but I was raised on a, out in the country on a farm. So yeah.
Um,
And of course the parks, that all have water features and have ducks there, everywhere you walk, you kind of have to watch where you go.
yep,
Oh,
gotta
wow.
watch where you step.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other, then we plan on this. I plan on having, when we do the aquaponics, we're going to do media beds and then vertical growing. My thing with raft beds is that algae grows too easily in them.
Hmm.
Joe Sue was telling me that they actually are raising shrimp and other crustaceans and snails in their raft beds
Yeah.
to act as bottom feeders and to keep the raft beds clean. And he's
Yes.
got that in just one raft bed. And he says the problem that he's having is that the snails are somehow ending up in other bins and other
Uh-huh.
parts of this.
Yeah, they multiply quickly.
Yeah, and he thought they had a small enough filter going over their drain spout on their raft bed, and evidently
No.
so. But yeah, the other thing that he was saying that they were able to do is there is some plants that actually do really well with salt water.
Uh-huh.
They actually have four lines of algae, seaweed, that they're intentionally growing with salt water.
Uh-huh.
And so he says that also gives them the availability to have saltwater fish in their tanks.
Yes.
So I'm just like, okay, well, that's cool if you like seaweed.
It's supposed to be very nutritious.
Yes, that's what he told me. He said there's actually a company there that buys it from him every time they harvest it, and he says they get a harvest every 4 weeks
Yes.
of seaweed. And so, what, Jaja? Oh, what? 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 Are you begging for attention? Yes, good boy. Could you maybe feed him food? That may be what he's after. The other one is too drugged up on payments to complain. Yeah, I was really hoping that we'd be able to have this weekend and be able to do demos and stuff. It does look like we should be able to open the first weekend in May for a market and be able to have an in-person meeting for the service dogs.
Oh, wow.
People so choose. I think we're still going to have to practice social distancing.
Yes.
I'm still going to do online, just because there's going to be people who don't want to come out yet, that are going to be afraid of the second wave and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which is a legitimate concern. We've got the same concerns too.
Yep.
Go get it. Go get it, big boy. Go get it, fat boy. Go get him up.
So we must not have very many people coming to the Zoom
Evidently
meeting.
not. I've posted it in there. We had several people showing that they were interested. I know Elizabeth Gordon got a new phone that she's still trying to figure it out. We've got one person watching on YouTube.
Okay.
2 people watching on YouTube.
Okay.
But I have the commenting turned off there. That was very challenging when I did the Space Station Requiem meeting,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to watch what we have going on and to be able to watch what they have going on, and to see all the different comments, because we also had people who were commenting in the group too.
Right.
And I'm like, would y'all just come into the meeting? It's kind of challenging. Zoom has gone in and put a bunch of new security things in places that makes it a little bit more challenging for people to be able to get into the meetings, and So they just got to have a little bit of patience for me to see that they're waiting to be let in. I had somebody who tried coming in, and it was just I didn't recognize their name at the space station Requiem meeting, and so I didn't let them in because I want to know who's coming into the meeting. I really do. I do think it's funny that while we're looking on our screen here, it has Matt up there, me here, and you down there. But when we're on YouTube, it's flipped around. I'm on the top left, Matt's on the top right. Actually,
everything is mirrored on YouTube.
No, I'm at the top left, Colleen's at the top right, and Matt's at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I do think that's funny. So that is interesting. So that's something new for us to figure out.
So you don't like commenting on?
No, I turned the commenting off on YouTube. I had to delete some rude comments off of Space Station Requiem.
Oh.
Basically it was trolls. Beam me up, Scotty. We're tired of the life down here. I mean, and if they were if they would have been serious, I would have just let them continue. But they were being dorks and being trolls, and a couple of them started getting ugly. I'm like, okay, you know what? I already know I'm not feeling good. I already know I'm gripey. I already know I'm grumpy. I'm not going to have the comments on the Homesteaders and Preppers Guild. We've got the meeting. We've got, most everybody had to have come from Facebook to find the YouTube. There's directions on Facebook how to get to the Zoom meeting. I'm watching our Facebook right now. There's nobody, making there's nobody in here making comments, saying that they've got questions or whatever. So I know what my original game plan was for today was to talk people through how to make a seed tincture. Or
what tincture?
Yeah, tincture.
Okay.
Basically, once you can get a hold of the flower, and I believe Joshua and Christy up at the Shindig, they're trying to get a hold of, so because they do hookah, they're trying to get a hold of a whole flower, CBD flower, hemp flower. Because you do have to start with that to make your tinctures or tonics, whatever it is that you're doing.
Not all the CBD shops sell it.
Yeah.
Here,
a lot of them they already have it rolled into cigarettes, or they already have it broken down into an RSO, which is a Rick Simpson oil, which is a concentrate.
Right.
And so that's the point where we can take it to. But it's not where you're wanting to start from. So I wanted to see if somebody commenting here. I saw it pop up. So when you get your flower, the first thing you need to do is you need to break it up, check to make sure there's any seeds in it. Try to remove as many seeds as you can. There's a lot of debate in the communities that because I am in a lot of the Mary Jane communities. I am a very big proponent of using marijuana for medical use. It's very helpful in a lot of people's toolboxes when modern medicine is failing them. You do need to, there's the community is torn on as to whether if you leave the seeds in when you're making your edibles or taking them out, as to whether you're getting toxins from it that could eventually be harmful to you or cause unpleasant things to happen. I take mine out just because. Yeah, it is showing us. Okay, I saw somebody. And then you kind of grind it up. You can either I have a little Ninja blender. I also have the little 2-piece one, and I just put it in there, pulse it a few times so that it's nice and crumbly. You just want to get the big chunks broken up. From there, you're going to put it on a piece of aluminum foil or a cookie sheet. I do it on an aluminum foil on my cookie sheet. That way it's easier to get up after you put it in the oven. And it goes in the oven for between 220 and 250 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. And this is called decarbolizing it. And what that basically does is it activates the CBD In the places where marijuana is legal, that it activates the THC. It takes it from THCA to THC. The CBD flowers, most of them have the less than 0.3%, 3% THC in them. You're in all the research that I'm finding, you are never going to find a CBD without THC. Even in the flowers, if you, even the hemp still has traces in it. They're all in the same family.
It's not enough to.
Yeah, it's not enough where you're going to sit there and go, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's not enough to get you stoned. As long as you can find yourself somebody that, or find somewhere that can give you the breakdown of the THC and the CBD in what you're purchasing, go. That's the information that you need to know. Is, if you're going for the pain relief, you want the higher CBD. If you're going to get stoned out of your mind, that's where you want the THC. If you're wanting somewhere in between, you can learn to play with it. I don't know if I have it on this one. No, I don't have it on this one. Never mind. I thought I had a chart on here that basically shows the heat, time, and temperature for marijuana, because sometimes all you can get a hold of is the illegal stuff. So frankly, you need to know how to extract just your CBD out of it, and that is, don't decarbolize it. Don't get it over your 220 degrees. Don't get it over your 250 degrees for an extended period of time. That slows down. It's not going to stop all the THC from coming out, but it's going to reduce the amount of THC that does come out.
Okay. It remains bound up.
Yeah, it remains bound up into the flower.
Okay.
From there, once you have that kind of opens up your gateway to everything that you can do with it.
Yeah, it comes out kind of brown and like it's been cooked.
Yeah, it looks like it's been cooked. It looks like it's been super dried. Where's it at? I'm waiting on my computer to catch up to me. I click faster than my computer can move. From there, you can infuse it into butters, into oils, and you can use it that way. If you're making a tincture, this is where being able to have Everclear is your friend. We have tried it without Everclear, and it's horrible. It does not.
We tried 100 proof rum.
Yeah.
And it just tasted like leather.
Yeah. It was hard.
But the Everclear tinctures that I have made, oh my goodness, it's like, wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Everclear is gonna wake your mouth up and put you to sleep and knock you on your keister.
Feels like you're breathing fire.
Yeah. That's why it's called Green Dragon. Is because it is basically the dragon breath from the Everclear. I have been making kind of a vegetable glycerin. I use vegetable glycerin to make my tinctures. It is very, very sweet to the taste, but from there I can use it to make edibles. I mix it in with my melatonin to help with my seizures. But it is very, very sweet. The vegetable glycerin itself just tastes very sweet. If you've never tried vegetable glycerin, let me know. The first weekend in May, I'll bring some, and people can just kind of do a little pinky test on what does vegetable glycerin actually taste like. It's in a lot of our foods, and people don't realize it.
Yeah. In fact, that's what vape products are made with.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what gives it the sweetness, along with the food flavorings. Hello? I can't hear you.
This is like walkie-talkie. Yeah.
There you go.
Yay.
There we go.
Yeah, but we can't hear. Oh.
Gotta turn the volume up.
There we are.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Now
Can
we're
you
cooking.
You're like, no, I don't want to work right now.
You
So,
look like you got a big. Hang on.
oh, I have a.
There
big
we go.
thing.
Hey, I was looking at HEB salt.
I really have a big thing on my head. Let me see if it'll let me return into the meeting. Oh well, no, but we'll cheat because it's still streaming.
Oh, here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's still streaming, so we'll just cheat and we're gonna turn around and. Hi, Brian. This is what you were doing earlier, Brian. I was trying to avoid this because I can screen share with Zoom. But I'll drop this into. I'm not sure where I'll drop it. If anybody wants this, how about that? Because yeah, you can message me. Because this is basically for Mary Jane, for marijuana, and it shows everything that we have that's in it, and it's trying to record my. Oh, I bet you got kicked out too because it's trying to convert the meeting.
No, we're still there.
I know,
I'm
but
still here.
Yeah, it's trying to convert my meeting.
I would like that.
Okay, I'll send it over to you. Wow, come on, computer, you're being a giant pain.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, Colleen.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how complicated it was. I thought you just heated the stuff up and you're good to go.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think there's quite a bit to it.
Yeah, we found that our best batch that we have done, that I use coconut oil to make it for the dogs, and we have one of those baker mats, pyramid baker mats, and I put the melted coconut oil that's infused with the CBD on it. When it's all hardened up, I pop it out, and it's the perfect dosing size.
Oh, okay.
So we like the consistency of that size because then we know exactly.
I think they're about a third of a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Right.
So these baking mats, you usually have them laid like this with the diamonds bake in the oven. Well, we flip them upside down, and we use the little cavities.
Right.
That's how we dose out the oils, the CBD oil. For making the tincture, like I said, I use the vegetable glycerin for myself. I've gotten to where I do almost the entire process in a mason jar, one of the big mouth mason jars, quart jars.
Yes.
Because even the flour stinks when you're decarbolizing it. It smells like, smells like marijuana. It's in the same family.
Yeah.
So you take that and you put it in the mason jar. I put it in my oven. Mason jars are tempered. They can handle the heat of 250 degrees in the oven.
Yep.
Make sure I have my fan on, and then I add in my vegetable glycerin, or I add in my oil, or I add in the alcohol, whatever it is that I'm going to use as my infusion. And then I put the lid back on tight, and I put it in my crock pot and water. And then we put it on low for, I think the switch went out on my crock pot. So it was actually on high for 3 days instead of low for 3 days. But yeah, that's not how much I normally do. Usually when I'm infusing oils, I only infuse them for 6 hours, and I usually do the vegetable glycerin. I usually, hi Bella.
Come on, Bella.
Hi, boom, boom. And I can drop a link. I'll drop a link in the Preppers Guild as well, on how it's created. When you're using the Everclear to make the tincture to get down to your Green Dragon or your Rick Simpson oil, you instead of heating it, well, that's one way to do it. You can heat it and basically heat it until the alcohol evaporates off, and then all you're left is with a real thick, slick, real thick dark oil.
Right.
And that's basically your concentrate.
Oh.
Okay, Steve Gordon finally popped through. Okay. So that's kind of how it gets brought down to the concentrate point.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can't get a hold of Everclear right now. We were trying different alcohols to try to make the tincture, and it just doesn't.
Rum tastes good. So
yeah, we figured.
Yeah,
we figured rum tastes good on its own. I think we're just gonna hold out for Everclear. Yeah, it's got the burn and a kick to it. The other one that we've got a good balance going is I'll use a half vegetable glycerin and half Everclear to make the tincture. Yeah, it kind of tastes like cough syrup because it's sweet.
Yes.
And then I've also kind of cheated a little bit. And
does the time that you cook it change if you're using vegetable glycerin versus Everclear?
Yeah. If you're just using alcohol, it infuses faster in the alcohol.
Okay.
Vegetable glycerin, I do infuse longer. And a lot of it, once you have a flower that you're familiar with, like I use Merlot, that's the name of the
strain
that they're calling it. I know that for us to get to the concentrate of CBD that we like to use on it, I know that I have to simmer my alcohol for 12 hours and my glycerin for 36 hours. There's a lot of people are probably going to be sitting here watching this video screaming, going, no, you don't need to do that. Okay, for us, that's what works. That's our happy ground of getting everything out of the plant that we've purchased, because my goodness, it's expensive.
Yeah.
We got.
Well, the cheapest we found was $300 for a pound of mixed shake.
Yeah. Shake is
after
they grind it up to make their cigarettes and stuff. They call that shake.
Yeah.
The cheapest that we could find ordering online for a pound of it was going to be $300.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah. And
but that's the best
yeah,
price.
I mean, that's the best price we could find, but just to buy it local, how much did we spend on that Merlot? It was
like $26 for a quarter ounce.
Yeah, $26 for a quarter ounce.
That was the cheapest.
Yeah, and that was the cheapest we could find, and that was after we went to 4 or 5. I called 4 or 5 different shops, and they're nope. We don't
Most
have it.
of
We
them
don't
just
have
want
it.
to sell gummies.
Yeah, they just want to sell you the edibles already made.
Right.
And if you've got food allergies or dietary restrictions, that's not the best thing for you.
No.
That can cause more issues.
Well, I forgot what that place was called. It's up on Bandera Road.
Oh yeah, so up by Neptune's.
He will sell it.
Yeah, he will sell it to you.
And he did offer a special order.
Yeah, he did offer a special order for us, but he wanted $600 for the pound.
You're better off going online.
Yeah. Well, I need to talk with Josh and Chris to see what their price is. So
yeah, they might
actually ship it out of state though.
CBD is legal in all the states.
Okay.
It can be shipped in from any state,
any place it's legal. It can be shipped to any place it's legal.
Right.
Yeah, and CBD is legalized
right.
for personal use. I always have to put that FDA warning out there for anybody who's making for anybody else. Don't sell its medical benefits in your soaps and your creams and your lotions or whatever.
Right.
You're using it for some other property other than medicinal value. Otherwise, the FDA is going to come down on you. Sorry, that's all. That's kind of what prompted us getting an FDA inspection. Is somebody was selling CBD soap on the side of the road and telling people that it was going to cure every single little skin problem that they had, and because they were selling on the side of the road, when the person's skin condition didn't get cured, they reported them to the state and to the FDA.
Yep.
So, we sell by the side of the road. So guess who's the first person they thought that was making it?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't put, I finally made a soap with hemp oil in it, but I purchased my hemp oil from a distributor.
Right. And I
it
do
was
too.
for the skin benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use it in soap because it provides a particular property that most other oils don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, every oil and soap has its own property.
Yeah.
But, okay, Steve's saying, sorry, I missed the meeting. But yeah, I was gonna walk everybody through the different stages of processing it, and you know,
Just take a rain check on it. Do it.
yeah,
Do it in the summer.
yeah. Well, there's been a request that we have a fall one the first weekend of October, like we did last year.
Okay.
So that may be what we do. Is we'll do a fall homesteaders bazaar the first weekend of October. I think that's been kind of like the popular request right now. And that gives us time to, you know, get more people involved and get vendors and presenters and everything.
Right.
And the network out. And then we moved the Ren Fair to the third weekend. We realized that's with, you know, Texas Renaissance Fairs are already going, and then Kerrville is having, there's the second and third weekend.
Oh.
All the local ones kind of we all failed to talk to each other, and we all kind of scheduled of ours all at the same time.
Yeah.
Our draw is that this is probably going to be the only place you can dress up in Renaissance Fair and, you know, be an intergalactic transgender dresser, cross dresser, and watch Rocky Horror Picture Show while having some because we already had the shindig booked the third Saturday evening for the Rocky Horror Picture Showcase.
Uh-huh.
So Christy and Joshua said, sure, go ahead and take over the place for the whole weekend. We don't mind. And then I realized I said that going, oh, that's going to make for an interesting Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
So, but what, Joshua? What, are you not the center of attention? And that's a problem? Yeah, this is the only time that he's cute and adorable.
Uh-huh.
Hi. Okay. But that is everything that I have. I will message you that file.
Okay.
Everybody else that may be seeing this on YouTube, you're going to have to email us at the Homesteaders Bandera Home. Actually, before I open my mouth and say it, you can email me at either requiemranch@gmail.com. We also have customer service at gmail.com. But if it's specifically for the preppers and homesteaders, our email address is, Tasha, get your butt out of my face, man. Yes, we love you. Yeah, beat Bella up with your tail. Yeah, get paybacks. My updated email address. I should, because I've been getting a lot of emails on our page. We have been getting a lot of emails on our page, from our page. That's very Homesteaders and Preppers Guild at gmail.com is our email address. Any questions that people have specific to homesteading and being a prepper, how they coexist with each other, and sometimes where they actually don't coexist with each other, please feel free to email me. I do use emails as topics of conversation within our group. We have been trying to post some more stuff to the page. Generally, our page is more for Bandera and the Hill Country and the events that we have happening here. If you want to start a Homesteaders and Preppers Guild in your area, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to tie our page into your page or help you set up a page so that everybody's coming into the same group and sharing information. I find that it's easier to be a cooperative in a community and to share resources and knowledge versus trying to reinvent yourself. But that is everything that we have from Guilds of Requiem this evening. Colleen, thank you for joining us. We greatly It was great talking gardening and chickens and how to make things. Our next meeting is going to be May 16th, if I remember correctly. My son's graduation is up in the air. The last I heard that they were postponing it, so I will most likely still be here, that we can have our, we can all go meet down at the shindig, and hopefully we'll all be able to meet down at the shindig. And even if we're 6 feet from each other, we can go, hi, love ya. Bye.
See you later.
Bye. Okay, let's see if I can get